audio recording to recuse himself. We will tell you why. Also this afternoon, New Patriotic Party flag bearer hopeful Kennedy Ejapon insists he is the only candidate capable of defeating John Dramani Mahama in the 2024 polls.
Opposition is just staring at you.
Plus some international news this afternoon as United Nations Food Agency says global food and hunger crisis has left more than 700 million people not knowing when or if they will eat again. Welcome to the program. Let's start off this afternoon with news coming from the ongoing limited voter registration by the Electoral Commission, and it has entered day 5. Now, the exercise is ongoing at only the district offices of the Electoral Commission. The ongoing exercise has been characterized by long queues, slow networks, and malfunctioning machines. The registration began nationwide on Tuesday, September 12, and is scheduled to end on Monday, October 2. The Commission's decision to conduct the limited voter registration exercise at its district offices has been met with criticism by some political parties and civil society groups. Ashanti Regional Correspondent Ibrahim Abubakar is at the Asokore Mampanwesi office to bring us some updates on the development. Ibrahim, thank you for joining us on the program. Good afternoon to you. The EC said the exercise will be happening on weekends as well. Today is a Saturday. What is the situation there like?
Well, Crosby, I can tell you so far so good here. I've seen a number of people still in queue, but as you can see, let me just tell the camera, there has been some improvement with regards to the queue. Some individuals have decided to get the applicant chairs to sit on so that they don't get exhausted in the process of the entire registration exercise. So Asawasi, we all know, or I would say Asokore, upon which we have the Asawasi constituency in. This is one of the hotspots, and day one, it was a bit chaotic here because the machines were very slow, and at the end of the day, they were able to register only 81. But from day 2, we've seen this level of improvement. They are registering not less than 150 every day. So today they are clocking around 600 of the applicants, and so far the process has been going on smoothly. They are expecting that it continues like this, so they will be able to meet their target. Here they are expecting not to register, they are expecting to register not less than 5,000 of the applicants. But Crosby, let me briefly engage with some of the MPP and NDC executives who have been touring this place to find out what their observation has also been so far. Centre, you've been touring Asawasi and other constituencies. So far, with regards to the registration, what do you make of it?
Yeah, thank you, my brother. I think it's very good, and there's nothing like any confrontation. It is about only the first day that we had a machine. The machine wasn't performing right, and there was some certain hitches and other stuff. So from the day 2, everything is okay till now. So far, we haven't seen anything like. Yeah, we haven't seen anything because the thing is moving on very, very well. It's only that my brothers from the NDC doesn't sleep. Yesterday, they were here as 1 a.m. And we also have decided to be here before they will be here the next day. So far, so good.
Okay, Crosby, let me also briefly engage with the NDC Secretary for Asawasi. What has been your observation so far?
Well, so far so good. Since the start of the day, we recorded 81 figures. The subsequent day, we recorded 163, 173, and 167 as at yesterday. We have a little network challenge. If not that, we would have been able to record more as in. And if you look at the queue, the kids keep on coming day in, day out. So if not the network challenge, at least, as I said, we are on course. We are on course. And we are hoping the Electoral Commission also, the data entry clerks will speed up their typing so as to be able to register more. But
we are told your people sleep here.
No, nobody sleeps here. My good uncle is being mischievous. Nobody sleeps here, as you can see. We will not even allow that because you need to learn from your past mistakes. The precedents which happened during the previous election, at least we need to learn many things from that. So nobody sleeps here. Nobody comes here at dawn. They come here at the normal 6, 7, 8 a.m. to at least follow the queue, and it has been so far so very good. And as you can see, I'm very happy both the NPP and the NDC are on the same page. There isn't any chaos. There isn't any ill information as to if you relate it to the previously what happened. Right. The satellite is on Asawasi, and we've seen many media houses coming to ask what the situation is, so they will not get anything bad to report. Likewise,
well, Crosby, so you've heard them. The process, like I said, is moving on very, very smoothly and fast, and they are hoping that it continues this way.
Right. Ibrahim, before you take leave of us, we understand there were concerns of minors trying to be registered and foreigners also being registered 5 days into the exercise in the Ashanti region. What can you report on that?
Well, Crosby, that incidents have been recorded, but it's been handled. Even here in Asawasi, we didn't record any minors there, but there were some challenges that were done on the part of some applicants, and they have decided that they will investigate and make sure that everything is being done right. So those incidents have been recorded. I'm told at other centers, but here in Asfori Mampon and Ofori Krom that I visited, we've not seen minors coming here to register, because the political parties themselves have decided to take it upon themselves to police these issues. So when you come, they are even doing the job of the police, making sure that whoever comes here qualifies to register before they will allow you, because you have to come with your Ghana card or even some guarantors, and they even allow people with the Ghana card to come in more. With the Ghana card, your date of birth, everything is on it. So there is no way you can come here as a minor to register.
For the registrants themselves, to Ibrahim, how do they feel going into this process, particularly those who just turned 18?
Well, Crosby, for most of them, they appear excited, especially the moment they get their voters' ID. You can see the smiles on their faces. Most of them are determined to be part of the decision-making process to elect the president and also members of parliament in the 2024 general election. So most of them are excited, even though the queue at a point in time is not moving, but they are determined to go through the process and get their voters' ID card. You know, Crosby, if you observe, for the past 2-3 days, it is raining intermittently. So these are the things that are sometimes disrupting the process. But you come here and you find some of them still in queue whilst it's raining, because they will tell you so far as they've left their homes to come and register, they are not ready to go back without the voters' ID. So even though the queue is long, most of them are determined to go through the process.
Ibrahim, thank you so much for bringing us those updates from the Ashanti region. We're still staying with issues coming from the limited voter registration exercise, as the competence of the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Jean Mensah, has been called into question, as panelists on key points wondered why the commission would go ahead with the exercise in the face of numerous suits against the commission.
I believe that they have to weigh some of their actions against the extent to which it reinforces that low level of trust being captured in Afrobarometer, or it, restores some of that trust. Then, on the other hand, you have the voters who have a fundamental right to vote. And I've always argued that because that right to vote is very fundamental. Now, as to whether the citizen would exercise that right or not, it still doesn't prevent the institution that has the authority and responsibility in organizing and putting in processes and procedures so that the citizen can exercise that vote. Your goal is always to remove as many impediments or burdens from the voter to ensure that they can exercise this fundamental right.
You see why the EC's actions that are saying they should do the registration at only the district offices of the EC smacks of voter suppression? Because I've been turning it around in my head over and over, and it just doesn't make sense to me. This is one thing that, listen, even if we didn't have money and we cried to our development partners, they will help us. So for me, this particular decision of the EC to restrict the registration to only their district offices is one that defies logic and any other, criteria that will move our democracy forward.
The commission itself either is unwilling to address the challenge or hasn't done or is not doing much to address the challenge. The courts are not helping because they will give judgments or they will set dates for ruling in a manner that would ensure that nothing will be achieved. I mean, the ruling will not come in a timely manner. So if the Electoral Commission will not do it, if the court will not help, what do? Ghana belongs to all of us. And so we must all rise up and act.
5 centers that I visited yesterday, I took time to have conversation with the district directors. And every one of them that I spoke to demonstrated that they are committed to ensuring that people come in and they register them hurriedly. The challenges they have explained. And I spoke to people who have come there to register. Their pain, you can see. They have challenges coming in, and then they are not able to register. They go home and having to come tomorrow and the rest of it. But you see, it has not taken away the right of people to register. People are going through the process because, look, citizenship is not a passive. It's not a passive thing. It's an active call. So citizens are taking the burden, given the challenges that is posed to them, are going through the processes to register.
In this country, the Electoral Commission district offices, are those offices suitable as polling stations on election day? Obviously, no.
Yeah.
I don't know anywhere in this country where on election day, election takes place at the EC district office. So why go against your own law? Then B, you talk about accessibility. And here, I am tempted sometimes to say that maybe some of our problems are as a result of the number of people who are, in decision making, but have little understanding of the geography of this country. So, to many people in decision making, they are more familiar with Kumasi, Accra, maybe Cape Coast, and probably Hope. They don't really know how inaccessible this country is.
Now, away from that, New Patriotic Party flag bearer hopeful Kennedy Agyapong says he is the only candidate competent enough to challenge former President John Dramani Mahama in the 2024 elections. Speaking to supporters after his showdown unity war, Kennedy Agyapong also took a swipe at the NPP government for taking pensioners' money under the domestic debt exchange program.
There is one man in NPP. I can't afford it. If you give him the law, pioneers are willing to give Honorable Kennedy Agyapong opportunity to lead this country. If he said, as an ordinary member, companies that have established the number of pioneers that have employed. Adoya Manjat, Akron, Minister Ayer, Ghana Force, Open, a genuine politician, or young philanthropic, and what talk, and the Timmer, and Money Maya, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. So, in the history of this country, you try politicians always be economists, or be a soldier for. Ghana for are saying, sir, let's give the businessman a chance. And let's see what the businessman can do. All the contestants, including NBC4, when it comes to business, I stand tall. Police station from I'm going to say chairman from NPCB runs. Now when I am boldly and confidently telling you today, mistake, no, opposition is just staring at you. In 2024 election, MPP lost that election in 2022. I repeat, election 2024, MPP 4, we lost the election in 2022. Why? And when I see you know, I say you're a businessman, all the way to tomato seller, as you can see, Ghana 4 for one. And my middle class 4 at the pumps. I'm going to see that shit. You have 15 years. Or my form working. I'm not pension for as you can see here. Or my form working. Anytime we are, my new brand now. Partner for you, my ministry of Moncasaro.
Essentially, Kennedy Agyapong, the Member of Parliament, also saying that he's the only candidate who can defeat John Dramani Mahama in the 2024 general elections. He's asking Ghanaians to give a businessman the chance, as his record in the business arena is unmatched, comparing that with the NPP and even the NDC's John Dramani Mahama. He's also taking a swipe at the NPP over their handling of the economy, particularly the pensioner bondholders controversy. He's also asking that if the NPP fail to give him the nod to lead the party going into the 2024 elections, the party is going into opposition. To some other subjects this afternoon, and the Volta River Authority has begun a controlled spillage from the Akosombo Dam and Kpung dams due to the high water levels. Gordon Asidiba visited Abume, one of the communities affected by the spillage, and has filed this report.
The community of Abume relies heavily on the river for their livelihood, which is primarily centered on fishing. The business of the community has been significantly affected due to water spillage from the Akosombo Dam. I am in the middle of a river in Abume, in Akosombo, not really far from where the dam spillage is happening. But there is a disturbing issue here. Most of the fishermen who fish around here in Abume continue to tell me that the spillage is going to be of a huge impact to them because the level of the water has risen really high, and if you pay critical attention to the level at which the water is moving, the speed is really fast, and with a small mistake, trust me, this water can easily carry someone away. But they also tell me that what can really be of a huge impact to them is when the water make way into their rooms. When the dam is open, it puts our work on hold. It's a worry.
I don't go fish again. But I go there, I don't go do the work. I catch the net there, currently go hard. Okay. But I don't go feel pool. It speed the water, the boat go 10. Yeah. You don't go feel pool the boat.
Other individuals who use canoes for transportation have expressed concerns about the increased water levels. 16-year-old Deborah Agwemafle regularly paddles her canoe to a nearby community to grind her cassava, but she was unable to do so due to the high water flow from the dam.
I feel difficult to drive the canoe because when you are driving, the water is overflow. So when you are driving, if you don't have a strong bows, when the river is flowing, it will take you to another place. So when I'm coming, I can't even drive, so that man helped me to drive.
The passengers on board her canoe expressed fear.
I feel bad and I was afraid. Though I know how to swim, I know how to drive the canoe, but today, no. It's so different.
In the Abume community, there is a complete absence of life jackets, leaving residents with no choice but to endanger their lives while traveling and fishing. The chief of Abume, Togbe Duzonu II, recalls how a similar spillage on November 1, 2010 led to some casualties.
They opened the spillage for that they destroy people because of the fish. When the fish were coming, they rush. So how the water is forcing, you capsize your boat, then you die.
According to the Volta River Authority, the elevation of the Akosombo Dam has risen and is expected to reach the maximum operational level if the rate of inflow continues. Some of the communities that may also be affected are New Senchi, Old Senchi and Atimpoku, among others.
It's been raining and there's a lot of water behind the dam, which if you don't spill, it will have a very big negative effect on the operations of the dam. If we don't educate them on the floods that will come, if it is so much, it will be very high. But fortunately, VRA and the communities have done a lot of education to the people.
In a statement from the VRA on September 15, 2023, according to the Deputy Chief Executive E&O Engineer Edward Obeng Kenzo, the decision to spill follows the observed consistent rise in the lake level due to the high inflows. He added that VRA is fully aware of the heavy rains being experienced across the country, leading to some levels of flooding and high water levels in some communities. He said it is for this reason VRA is undertaking this controlled spillage to mitigate any adverse impact. He stated that VRA will continue to monitor the situation and update the public accordingly, but efforts to get the authorities to speak with me on camera proved futile.
Godwin Asedeba, TV3, Akosombo, Eastern Region.
You're watching Midday Live on TV3. My name is Noble Crosbyan, and we're back with more stories after this break. Please stay with us.
There's a passion that brings us together, but beyond the thrill of the game, we know why you play.
Hey, come on!
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly, not for persons below 18 years. Gaming can be addictive. Fight bets. Together, we play.
Are you tired of dealing with toilet paper that irritates your skin and clogs your toilets? Your WCs? Wait, I have great news for you. Flora Toilet Roll is the game changer. Flora Toilet Roll is thick, gentle on the skin, and fragrance free, making it ideal to clean your intimate parts, as it causes no skin irritations and or allergies. The best part is it is made to dissolve easily, preventing plumbing issues and clogs. Experience the ultimate comfort of Flora Toilet Roll. No more clogs, no more skin irritations.
Kwame Nkrumah, Kenya also had leaders like Jomo Kenyatta who became symbols of hope in a fight for independence.
Navigating the complexities of adulthood as a young woman can be challenging. Balancing various life issues can feel overwhelming. This week on Ghana's Most Beautiful, contestants will shed light on the unique challenges women face and work together to explore solutions. Join us for an emotional experience with the contestants this Sunday at 8 p.m. on TV3. To ensure your favorite contestant advances in the competition, vote by dialing *713*13# or by downloading the TV3 reality app. GMB 23, Ghana's beauty, Africa's pride.
GMB 2023 is sponsored by Gino Tomato Mix, GTP, Techno Camon 20 series, AT, Pepsodent Charcoal and Lemon Infused Formula and Pepsodent Natural Herbal Formula, Geisha Moringa and Geisha Black Soup, Key Soap, Bell Pack Tissues, Sankofa Natural Spices, Vitamilk, Deluxy Acrylic Paint, Nescofa Black Tonic, Heaven Black Mosquito Spray and Coil, Enapa Foods, Freedom from Casapreco, Frutelli Calipo, Duffy's Health and Beauty, Obuasi Bitters, Nubna Womwankasa, Dragnet, Shalatem, Top Choco.
Save 500.
Global Wings Travel and Tour.
Makeup was done by House of Tara.
The battle is still on, bragging rights still very strong. Who carries the day this week for Group H? Is this going to be Anyako SHS?
We are the Hoholians, and we are not just here to cook.
Wesley girls?
We are not just brainy beauties, we are masters in the kitchen as well.
Ola girls?
We won't like to talk much, we like to show actions.
Or Christian Methodist?
We'll let our fingers do the talking, and your tasting will do the judging.
Yeah, can't say, oh, because, that's what saying, and then let's see, yeah. We are seeing, I won't say,
27, 26, 25, hey, 24, 23. All the action is right here on TV3, Sunday, 5 p.m. with me, Kukiti. It is Kitchen Wars Season 2.
Kitchen Wars Season 2, Sundays at 5 p.m. on TV3. Don't miss it.
Sponsored by Gino Tomato Mix.
Enapa Foods. Say Enapa. Enye Ono Soko.
PGL.
Legends don't just speak, and when they speak, they make sure they leave a mark. And this week's episode of The Day Show is nothing short of that. You graduated with what? A project management degree?
Yeah.
Tell me why you went back to school.
I promised my mom that I would go to uni. But then before I realized, SRC president was calling.
Has the president failed?
I'm a person that does not buy into the idea of build a national cathedral. It's purely misplaced priority.
Okay. What do you say about all this conversation about why Ghanaians are not up there, we're not winning a Grammy, etc.? That is not all. Beyond Samini, we also have the Arc Band. You'd love to listen to them all day long. So don't miss The Day Show this week right here on TV3, Sunday at 3 p.m. See you.
The Day Show, Sundays at 3 p.m. on TV3.
This program is sponsored by
Welcome back to the broadcast. Now, political historian at the University of Ghana, Professor Ransford Jampu, has called on Samuel Atachia, who is chairman of the ad hoc committee probing the leaked audio recording on the purported plot to oust the IGP, to recuse himself. According to him, the committee chair, since the public hearing began, has conducted himself in a manner that makes him appear more like a defense counsel to the three police officers at the center of the leaked tape. Meanwhile, private legal practitioner Martin Pigbu says Inspector General of Police Dr. George Akufo-Dampare cannot be removed as per the public sympathy he has quoted. Here are the views of some panelists who appeared on the program.
I see Atachia not as a credible chairman. A chairman must be sober and listen. Yes, you are supposed to be steering the affairs of the committee, but you must approach that duty and role with a certain sobriety and maturity in a manner that does not point or give you out as having taken sides. It appears that rather than be a chairman, he is playing a certain surreptitious role as a lead counsel for those who are making the accusations and those who are looking for the opportunity to serve as IGPs so that they can subvert the will of the people. It is not by force that he chairs this committee. I am accusing him of taking sides.
Clearly, from the hearing till now, the fact that we are now told that there is an additional tape containing more information should serve as vindication for us, especially because this hearing is revealing more than we knew. Too many things unrelated to what was contained in the tape has been introduced into the conversation. So we have IGP having to dispute allegations of corruption against him. I mean, that was not part of the tape. Conversation on the tape had to do with how the IGP, had to be replaced and, replaced with someone who could help the regime to break the eight.
There have been about 200 special recommendations that only IG and his police council understand that they use to promote some people. There have been about 200 of such cases. So the police people, the police officers are happy to see the investigation go in that direction. That's where the corruption is rearing its head. As for IG Dan Perry, we all know he's done a good job. And from the way the conversation is going, naturally, he can't be removed anymore. The president is too late in the day. Yeah, because right now, the public opinion is showing that, by and large, we support him. Good. But he's not an angel. So where he has issues, they should be dealt with. They should be dealt with. We can't just say because he did a yeoman's job in Asenov, we should sweep everything under the carpet. No, the issue of these promotions and there's some corruption around it is a big problem.
My only concern is that you don't want these other issues, although important, to distract from the core issue at stake, which is really, the allegation is really serious because it goes at the heart of our democracy, which is in an alleged plot to say that, we want to subvert the will of the people and ensure that a particular political party retains power. And I hope that at the end of the day, the parliamentary committee would be able to establish, all of those facts, how determined were they to undertake something like that, which, really undermines the fundamental right of Ghanaians. And then if there are disciplinary actions to be taken, you ensure that you take them.
Everything we have seen so far goes to confirm to us that there is a certain jostling in the police service, particularly around the commissioners to want to become IGP. That race to become IGP has led to them undermining each other, creating and saying things, most of which they have put on public TV for all of us to see, is what is the problem.
Now, rice farmers in Bayerbo number 5 in the Chimamponia district of the Ashanti region, they've been schooled on how to manage incidents of pests and diseases on their farms. This is to help the farmers protect their investment from being completely destroyed by the invasion of pests.
In 2020, hundreds of rice farmers in the Chimamponia district suffered a great loss following the infestation of pests on their farms. Several farmers who lost their entire livelihood nearly gave up on the venture. Rice production in the area declined due to the infestation, but some of these farmers managed to bounce back. To prevent similar loss in the near future, the Crops Research Institute, with support from Copia Ghana, has trained rice farmers on how to manage the incidence of pests and diseases on their farms. The rice farmers at Bayerbo number 5 were taken through best agronomic practices and how to identify the invasion of pests on their farm at an early stage. Dr. Kofi Frimpong Eni is a senior research scientist at Crops Research Institute.
We are now encouraging farmers, especially those who cultivate rice, to adopt the technology that we've introduced to help manage the pests and diseases with minimal impact on the environment as well as non-target organisms, because what we've introduced is environmentally friendly and also human friendly, and there is no need of having residues in the produce at the end of the harvest.
Some of the farmers were excited.
ehia se obeye na obetumi ahwe mo no kwan a obefa so a obetumi aye no baby a wo mfa duro kura nkanso enam so de yesuan ebema emo no etimi aye pepepe sene yebeye a yensu ye ni beje
eduro na de bebo ase se yebebo ase emprensan plenu na yenim but enye de yehunu a dabia no se yebetimi de aye adwumadie ama ahotoso aba Bayrebon number 5.
The Crops Research Institute intends to extend its intervention to all rice farmers across the country to enable the country cut down on rice importation.
Away from that, biomedical engineers in Ghana are to be rolled onto the mainstream healthcare system to utilize their full potential, according to the Deputy Director of Infrastructure at the Ministry of Health, Kwame Safo. The move is to ensure that their impact is better felt in the health centers.
Biomedical engineers use machinery and technology to design equipment like artificial internal organs, surgical robots, life-saving pharmaceutical drugs, advanced prosthetics, and machines that can diagnose medical problems. Since 2019, over 300 engineers have benefited from the local training program supported by the Korean government in Ghana, aimed at sharing knowledge among other local engineers. This year, 40 biomedical engineers selected from the 16 regions have benefited from training and capacity building under the program.
Management of medical equipment is very key. Each health professional uses a particular form of medical equipment. And what happens if these equipment are not managed well? We all know these are capital-intensive equipment. When they are well managed, our equipment are safe. Our patients in the various health institutes are also safe.
The Ministry of Health is making reforms that will better utilize their potential at the various hospitals.
For a very long time, they've been in the background. So the next step is that we'll now integrate them with the clinicians so that if there's a procedure going on in a theater, a biomedical engineer can enter, as a confident staff and not as, just a technician who is needed when, he has to give support.
Biomedical engineer Osei Ajiman is grateful for the opportunity and says it will go a long way towards impacting his work.
It's a different experience and a different ball game altogether. The adapts to what was inculcated in the people who came first. This has been a massive and tremendous activity that I have never met.
Country Director for the Korean Foundation for International Healthcare, Bo Ming-yang, says the Korean government is committed to supporting the local training program until 2025.
We found that we need to approach as a systematically for the strengthening medical equipment management system in Ghana.
Participants included 4 females and 36 males.
Now, the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority is introducing a special product for the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, which will allow students to graduate with a driver's license as part of a strategy to produce qualified drivers for the changing of the road environment.
Management of KNUST has already provided land for the establishment of a regional center of excellence that will train drivers, students, and build the capacity of DVLA staff.
We are very excited about it because we have been in talks with the DVLA for some time now. And so we have even gone ahead to allocate a land close to the teaching hospital around Buedi. And so we are waiting feverishly to complete the process of having an MOU, having a technical team, and then roll out the project.
Deputy Director in charge of Research, Business Development and Innovation at DVLA, Abraham Zato, said the strategy is being introduced to engender improved services.
Driving is a science, and so we think that it's important to collaborate with universities to ensure that this science is developed properly. The training behind driving is undertaken in ways that respond to the future of driving. And then we have a special product for the university community. which is what we call TET Drive. And the objective behind this special product is to collaborate with the university, KNUST, one of the premier universities in Ghana, to say that every KNUST student graduates with a driver's license.
The product seeks to grant opportunity to all students who are willing to acquire a driver's license to do so in the comfort and convenience of their campus. The essence is to make it possible for students who find jobs that will require driving as added value, so they do not lose the job opportunity.
Government spent 64 million cedis on victims of fire outbreaks last year. The Vice President, Dr. Bawumia, who made this known at the passing out ceremony of fire officers, urged the service to swiftly address such incidents.
339 fire officers, made up of 210 males and 129 females, underwent a 32-week training in fire drills, fire management, work ethics, corporate image development, public finance, and budgeting. The Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, commissioned them into the service and urged them to be focused and swift in handling fire outbreaks.
Government gave opportunity to the service to recruit 2,000 new entrants into the service to improve your human resource capacity, break bounds, and get to the nooks and crannies of the country in your bid to curb fire outbreaks.
He reiterated government's commitment to retooling the National Fire Service.
Government has also provided the service with 2 hydraulic platforms capable of reaching the 16th floor of a building to assist the service in dealing with fire and rescue situations on high-rise buildings. In addition, government is in the process of procuring 200 rapid intervention vehicles for the service.
Outstanding officers were honored.
You're watching Midday Live on TV3. We're back with more stories after this break. Please stay with us.
Get ready for another cultural explosion like never before. On 21st September, Africa will witness an ultimate celebration of African diversity and flavor at the 3FM Afro Connect event. This is the place to experience the magic of African arts and creativity. You also get to unite in a sizzling jollof war competition, igniting a culinary showdown. Will Cote d'Ivoire hold the jollof war title? So whether you're passionate about food, art, games, or simply making new connections, 3FM Afro Connect event on the 21st of September is the place to be. Venue, Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. To sell, call 053-220-0927. 3FM Afro Connect, connecting Africa and beyond.
Brought to you by 3FM 92.7, your urban lifestyle radio.
Sponsored by Tasty Tom, ECG Power App, Festival, Mega 6 Lotto, Accel Washing Powder.
Are you ready to win solid cash every day with Cash Out? Be a proud winner of lots of cash simply by watching or listening to any of Media General stations. That's right, you are being rewarded for your loyalty. Tune in to all Media General brands. TV3, 3FM 92.7, Onuya TV, Onuya FM 95.1, all in Accra, Akuma FM 87.9 in Kumasi, and Connect FM 97.1 in Takoradi. To enter the Cash Out raffle on your favorite Media General station, just dial *439#. Follow the prompt and pick your favorite platform to enter. Voila! You are now eligible to become one of the 10 lucky winners of a cool cash prize. Remember, this is every day, all day on your favorite Media General station. Cash out and win big! This is in partnership with Radio Entertainment Limited. This promo is regulated by the National Lottery Authority on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply.
The show is here
Majid Michelle, Yvonne Nelson, Edinati.
Yvonne Nelson.
Edinati. The sun is shining brightly. Your nose look alike. We are not related.
See combination. Which musician does Nick Paco or Lariba love the most?
Our do they know why?
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
We will see. This CJ will off it.
Here to Win shows Saturdays at 8 p.m. on TV3. Brought to you by Kill It Insecticide Spray. Gino Tomet.
Welcome back to the program. Sports News is up next, and Yao Fusulabi will bring us all the latest in sport. Over to you, Yao.
Well, most definitely. Thank you so much, Noble. And to our first story this afternoon here on Media Live on TV3, Hearts of Oak were denied any points away from home as they played in Tamale in a game against Real Tamale United and lost by 1 goal to 0. Here are the highlights.
Smothered by Nanaya, but just could not get it. Could this be the turning point? It's floated in. Attack comes out, and RTU! The pride of the North had to leave it till the death of the game to secure the first goal of the season. Corner kick was floated in nicely. Heads went up. Richard Atta came out. But there was a certain Owusu Efriye lurking. Rose above all, got his head to it. RTU. And that's a nudge. Now they are up on their feet because it's all over. Rustum Sanobe, a center referee, brings proceedings to an end here at the Aliu Muhammad Stadium.
If you lose, then always you are disappointed. But I think for the public it was a very nice game to see, a fighting game. Of course, we like to play football, but if you cannot play football, you must fight also. In the first half, they have a lot of chances also. So we don't say it's not deserved. Say last seconds, they corner kick, they scored. I think overall the game, they deserve a winning game.
We started with a very young team. People didn't give us the dog chance, but we knew what we were doing. We are telling people that there are talents up north here, so they should watch out.
Well, you heard that from both managers as well as the highlights as well. But it wasn't just Hearts of Oak who played last night. There was also Dreams FC who recorded a 2-1 win at the Accra Sports Stadium over Kalon FC in the second round of the CAF Confederations Cup. My colleague Billy Shen was there and filed this report.
Dreams FC managed to score 2 goals and grab a victory in the CAF Confederation Cup second round against Kalon FC. However, Kalon managed to score an away goal in this game. Godfred Etiahene scored the first goal for Dreams, and John Entry scored from the spot to give Dreams the victory over Kalon FC. Here was the reaction from the Dreams FC coach after the game.
The most important thing is that we won. Every win is a win, but yes, because of the away goal and because of the rule. Okay, so that's why I'm saying that there's still a lot to play for.
So the fans who watched this game were skeptical about Dreams FC's chances ahead of the second leg.
If you watch the game they played today and the scoreline that came, I don't think it's a befitting one for Dreams FC. Yes, going into the second leg, I think what they should do is to be very pragmatic.
Qualify? No. This is not an African competition team. If you see the demeanor of the players on the pitch, it shows the immaturity on the part of the players, missing a lot of clear-cut chances and all of that. And don't let anybody lie to you. FC Kalon, they came with a strategy. Bear in mind, they were on the pitch without their coach.
The way they played, you see, the African football is different. It's different because when they come away, they have their style of play. When you go to their side, they also have a different style of play. And for Dreams to go there with just a goal margin, it will be difficult.
Of course, Dreams FC managed to get the much-needed victory. However, Kalon still has that away goal, and they have the advantage going into the second leg. Billy Shen from the Accra Sports Stadium for for 3 Sports.
Now let's head to Manchester, where United will play Brighton and Hove Albion later today at 2 p.m. And Erik ten Hag has said Jadon Sancho's exclusion from Manchester United squad is due to strict lines he has put in place, taking over as manager in the summer of 2022, and suggested that the forward's misdemeanor was not his first. At Old Trafford in his first visit.
We trained very well and we are ready to fight Brighton. Very good Brighton, but we are really looking forward to. We have a lot of energy. But I say we have a good fight, so we are ready for it. You have sometimes setbacks in seasons. Players are injured or other reasons. They are not available, and therefore you construct a squad. And and the squad is very good, and players who are available are very motivated to give a good performance.
Yes, I'm looking forward to watch the stadium, to play in that stadium. It's an honor for me. I hope the result can be positive, because I don't want to be a tourist, but I think playing this game in this stadium is an honor for everyone, and we can't forget it. We have to think we are proud, but we want to play in the right way. We want to win.
Yeah, they're from Roberto De Zerbi and also from Erik ten Hag. Now, a judge has banned Spain's ex-football chief, Luis Rubiales, from going within 200 meters of footballer Jenny Hermoso. Now, prosecutors asked for a restraining order as the national courts in Madrid considered the criminal complaints of sexual assault and coercion. Now, appearing in court for the first time, Mr. Rubiales denied sexually assaulting Ms. Hermoso by kissing her on the lips after Spain's Women's World Cup win. Investigating Judge Francisco de Jorge was asked to bar him from approaching within 500 meters of Jenny Hermoso or from communicating with her. Well, that's all the sports news is out here on Midday Live on TV3. My name is Yao Ofosula Entertainment News. We'll come after the break. Stay with us.
Kenyan sound engineer Apia Danko, known popularly as Apietus, says he is not giving up on the agenda to snatch the Guinness World Record for the music producer with the most hits. The hitmaker disclosed that he currently has 226 hit songs to his credit and is still producing more to beat the world record holder, who has 232 hits. We're still staying in entertainment news and bringing you more stories in the entertainment world. As established in 1992, the Diograttis Photo Studio has survived decades of Ghana's history with over 50,000 images that has been preserved. The entertainment brings you the story behind this hidden gem in the heart of Accra.
Jamestown and some tourist attractions like the Asher Fort and even the Jamestown Lighthouse come to mind, because we have a lot of tourists coming in here to take a look at these places. But there's one particular hidden gem that has been in existence for over 100 years. That is the Diograttis Photo Studio, which is still running even after 100 years. And today at 3 Entertainment, we're here in Jamestown to find out the backstory of how this brilliant photo studio started, how they've been able to keep the pictures, what has kept them running. Come with me, let's go find out.
The Diograttis Photo Studio, established in 1922, signified the Height founder J.K. Bruce Vanderpoel and Sons' aspirations and dreams of what they can achieve with photography. The two spent decades in capturing historic events, architecture and prominent personalities in the Ghanaian history. To present day, it can inarguably be said to be one of the oldest photography studios in Africa. Diogratius and the dream of the Bruce van der Poels is succeeded by Kate Tamaklo, granddaughter of J.K. Bruce van der Poel and daughter of Isaac Hudson Bruce van der Poel. So we're here at the Diogratius photo studio, the oldest photo studio in Africa, and today we're going to get into the history behind the studio, and the best person to help us do that is Mrs. Tamaklo, who knows a whole lot about the studio. Being the third generation, she's here to tell us all the story. It's been here for over 100 years. What are some of the memorable events, especially when it comes to your grandfather and your father managing this entire studio?
Some of the memorable events have been when Kwame Nkrumah was taken out of prison, which is not far from the studio, and then also experiencing our independence. That were great moments that both my grandfather and my dad experienced.
So what of this particular picture?
Yes, this one includes some of the big six,
okay,
with their lawyer for independence.
So that's J.B. Dankwa and then
okay. You see the members of the United Gold Coast Convention.
Wow. So this was taken in 1947.
Yeah.
Wow. When you go to other jurisdictions, highly sought after, people pay millions of dollars to get these pictures in their homes. Are you open for such opportunities, or do you have people even coming to say that I want to buy this picture for this much?
Yes, we have a lot of people coming in who want copies. But for now we are preserving the quality of these prints. We are willing to sell editions, but not more than a certain number of copies from each of the photos, because they are really rare, and we don't want them to be lying about probably on the floor and then use it to pick up rubbish. We want people to preserve them, hang them on their wall, and appreciate what Ghanaians looked like at the time.
Despite the great history and the over 50,000 pictures the studio holds, Kate is worried that Ghanaians haven't showed enough interest in the edifice. This entire photo studio has a beautiful history that should be told. Do you think we've appreciated this edifice enough?
Well, I think so far as the Ghanaian economy is concerned, no. Ghana as a whole, I don't think so. The studio is mainly patronized by foreigners who are undergoing their studies abroad, especially those who are studying anthropology. They come by and look for information for their thesis. And if I can help them, yes, I do. And the others are just tourists who are taking a walk through Jamestown, and then they walk in and we take them around, tell them a bit about what Ghana was then, before independence and after 1922.
In a bid to preserve the stories behind every picture, Kate is still running the photo studio, discovering unprinted pictures on films and glass plates, scanning and digitizing every memory. To Kate, the next 5 years will be an exciting time for the studio, as she also has a succession plan in order to keep the dreams of his predecessors running. What is your long-term plan or vision for this place? Let's say in 5-10 years, and do you have plans of passing it on to someone else, maybe a fourth generation?
Yes, very much so. I mean, if I decide not to pass this on, it will die naturally. So definitely I have a succession plan, and I would like to pass this on. And also, in the next 5 years, what I would like to achieve is to have a lot of coffee table books lying around in our embassies abroad, in the other museums that we have in the country, to be able to tell the story. And then also to make this place a one-stop where people can come in, have their photos taken with some of the old photos in the background, so those photos will tell their own story as time goes on.
In international news this afternoon, the head of the United Nations Food Agency has said that a global hunger crisis has left more than 700 million people not knowing when or if they will eat again, and demand for food is rising relentlessly while humanitarian funding is drying up. Well, that's our package for you this afternoon, but there's always more news on our website, 3news.com. On behalf of the top production team, thank you so much for watching the bulletin. My name is Noble Crosby, and I'll see you again some other time. Good afternoon to you. Bye-bye.
This program is rated U. It contains no scene, action or dialogue that could be construed as disturbing, harmful or offensive. It is suitable for all ages.
The Honorable Minister for Information.